Lynn Markey is our next speaker. She's the CEO and co-founder of Extremity Medical, a surgical device company developing treatments for chronic wound infections. Along with her co-founder Camille O'Malley, the team is in the final stages of an Enterprise Ireland commercialisation fund and is preparing for spin-out from NUIG next year. Lynn.
Thank you. Feet. We take them for granted every single day to get about, but can you imagine your life without them? This is the risk for millions of diabetics every year who develop a foot ulcer, with 1 in 2 becoming infected. These infections are devastating for patients, leading to hundreds of thousands of amputations every year. Patients go from living independent lives to care homes where their life expectancy is drastically cut short. Extremity Medical are developing a surgical device to treat these infections and improve patient outcomes. These infections are so complex to treat because they reside in the deep muscle and bone tissue. And because of that, antibiotics alone are not sufficient, and surgery is required to remove the infection. The surgeon's challenge is to remove all the infection, but they're blind to where the infection is and cannot guarantee it's been fully removed. Therapies available to assist the surgeon in removing the infection have no proven clinical benefit because they either only treat the surface of the wound or they use mechanical forces that can propel the infection deeper into the wound. Because of this, 1 in 2 surgeries fail and patients require additional surgeries. Extremity can make a real difference to these patients. We're developing a surgical device that delivers electrical pulses to the wound to zap any bacteria remaining in the wound margins. We've demonstrated this technology is effective with a 1,000-fold reduction in the bacterial burden compared to the standard of care. Earlier this year, we carried out a large animal study to demonstrate the safety of this technology. And wound margins that are free of bacteria reduce surgical procedures by 27% and hospital stays by 40%. And this is how Extremity can save hospitals money. This disruptive technology is a Class 2 medical device with a patent pending, and reimbursement is available for rapid market adoption. As a team, we're uniquely positioned to bring this device to patients with a background in science, electronic engineering, and medtech innovation, and we're supported by a global network of clinical and commercial advisors. The market opportunity for a device that treats infection is over €5 billion. There really are no good solutions for these patients. Initially, Extremity will target diabetic foot infections with scope to expand into the wider infection market to include surgical site infections, trauma infections, and chronic wound infections. To summarize, Extremity are developing a surgical device to treat all bone and soft tissue infections with a potential market opportunity of €5 billion. We're currently raising a seed round to get to first-in-human studies, and we're looking for investment partners to join us on this journey. Thank you.
Lynn, thank you for that. Can you just explain to me, how does an electrical pulse or signal actually work to deal with an infection?
Sure, so the electrical pulses can treat both the surface and below the surface, and what it does is you can hone the parameters of that pulse to target the smaller bacterial cells over the human cells. And what it does is it creates pores in the cell membrane, which basically kill the bacterial cells.
Is anybody else doing anything like that at present?
There have been some devices that have used electrical pulses, but they've only been used in animal models because how they deliver the technology is they have to pinch the tissue between the electrodes, which isn't suitable for these type of infections. And where Extremity are unique is that we've designed our device to deliver the technology in a non-invasive fashion.
Now, how long before you get a patent, and what difference will that make to you?
Sure, so we filed our first patent earlier this year, and we're waiting for the research report on that. And that will give us protection for this device, the design of this device.
And what sort of interest has been shown by others in assisting you at this stage in relation to investment or whatever? Because this seems like an idea that particularly could have major cost savings involved.
Absolutely. We've taken a very unique approach to treating these infections. Previously, it's been using either chemicals or mechanical forces, and so this is using electrical pulses is a very different approach. And so there's a lot of excitement and a lot of potential with using this type of technology to treat these very severe infections that can be really devastating for patients.
And in medical circles, are the people asking about this because it is unique, as you say, as to how would they have expressed doubts about effectiveness if nobody else has really done it?
Yeah, so we have clinical advisors throughout the States and in Europe, and they're all very excited to see the potential of this technology. And obviously that will be backed up with clinical data as we progress through.
Thank you very much for being with us, and best of
you.
luck for the future.
Thanks very much.